So we say our Sanatana Dharma, we call it. Sanatana Dharma means that there is no beginning, no end. It is eternal. It is applicable in the past, present and future. So that we call the Sanatana Dharma. How is it applicable? It's applicable in 3 levels. First level is self-centered, focused on a particular individual, particular society, particular group, or particular religion, or particular geographic boundary. It's like my country, my family, my society, my school, my team, and that sort of things. And that's the basic things. So it's like what do you call it? When you drive in the road, we should obey the rules, traffic rules. You have to follow the traffic rule. You have to stop the vehicle in the stop sign. Okay? So it's like that. In the school, you need to obey certain rules. So if you don't follow these things, there will be a chaos in the society. Some people wrongly says religion is just to keep the social order. Have you heard of that? People say that religion is just a scare tactic to keep the social order. It is partly true. Part of the dharma is this. This is the one to keep the individual and social order to lead a harmonious life. Otherwise there will be a chaos. You cannot drive, you cannot live peacefully, everyone do everything whatever they want. So to govern this, there are rules and regulations. The first level of dharma to be governed with rules and regulations. So these rules and regulations are laid down in our law books currently. Right? Municipal laws, bylaws, and also the city laws, provincial laws, federal laws, international laws, everything. The basic for these law books is smridis. In Hinduism we call smridis. There are 80 smridis there, like Parasara Smriti, Manusmriti. They do these do's and don'ts. Who is the guardian of this dharma, the worldly dharma, is the government. If you don't do that, you will be in trouble with the law. You will be punished. Right? A person, a father should protect and provide for the kids. If not, they can send a notice from the courts. And so that's a basic thing. You need to do at least your way. You need to at least look after your kid. From a student, at least to study his studies. That's a basic thing. It's self-centered, but it's must for all. And as a responsibility, government is now with the politicians, ministers, forces, police, another thing. And also in a democratic society, it's partly on us too, because we are the one electing the government. So exercising our right, voting right, exercising our political right, raising up and standing up for the right things and raising the voice against the wrong things, and all those things is important to keep the dharma going, because we are also part in the democratic society, because we are electing the government. Okay, God doesn't come for this dharma. He's not coming in the street to enforce the traffic rule. No, if you are not providing for our kids, the God doesn't come and ask the God to do that. So only the courts and laws and things. It's the rules and regulation and laws. The second level of dharma is called Vaidika dharma. It's putting others in front of us. Putting others in front of us. So that is focus on others. Others will do. தமிழ் சொல்ல வந்தாங்கன்னு கேட்டால் முதலாவது வந்து மெட்டவைக்கு கரைச்சலில் ஆகணும், ரெண்டாவது மெட்டவைக்கு பிரியோசனம் ஆகணும். Second level. So you put others in front. So it's centered around others. You become the second. You help others. You serve others. A student not only is focusing on his studies, he is also respecting and serving the elders, parents, teachers. A family man not only providing and protecting his host family, also doing the ancestral rites, entertaining guests, providing and protecting for his society and sharing with others, and protecting and other living beings, Panchajajna we call it, and all those things. That's the others. This is laid out in our Vedic literatures. It's called Vaidika Dharma. It is ethics and moral. Vaidika Dharma is ethics and moral. It is not a must as per the basic living. It is a choice. Nobody will come and ask you, why don't you help other people? Did they come and ask you? Huh? They don't. If a student didn't help his parents, and then even come and pull the student, why did you do that? No. So it is ethics and morals. It is optional. That's why Abhaya சொன்னார் அறஞ்செய்ய விரும்பு. It's the best choice to do that. The second level. Third level is God-centered dharma. You put the God as the center, others second, and yourself the last. When the students went from Canada to Satya Sai Baba last year, right? 2011, they wrote 9 or 10. 2010. When the convictions they written promises. One of them is that I put God in my life, God the first place, others the second, and me as in last place. That's the thing. So it's the same thing. So this God-centered dharma, the God is the center. So God is the center and others second, and you the last. Okay, that's the highest form of dharma. Second level of dharma is an option. If you do it, you'll get the good benefit. You earn good karma, punya. If you do it, you get a good life, good education, good job, happiness, good partner. If it accumulates well, you after this birth, you go to heavenly planet for some time, enjoy the heavenly pleasures, and come back. That's the second level, hells and heaven. Who is the guardian of this dharma? It's people with resources, people with intellectual resources, people with power, people with education, people with money, people with fame. They all need to share and put those things for others, not to utilize for them. You understand? Certain people are famous, certain people are very powerful. So use that for others' benefit, not rather than using for their own benefit, misusing. You understand? And this is the one Rishis laid down in Vedas. And last one is the God-centered dharma. It's explained in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Sarva dharma baridhyaga mamyeva saranam. You can give up all those dharma, you can come into me. Jesus Christ said, I am the way. This dharma. And Muhammad said, unless through Allah, you cannot reach the God. So this is the God-centered dharma. It's proclaimed in all the religions of the past, present, and there are so many religions to come in the future too. This Bhagavad Gita says it's what you call, it's a Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. Everything there is yoga. Yoga means focus and concentration needed for everything. For Bhakti, for Karma, and Saivism says Sariya, Giriya, Yoga, Jnana. Saivism says Yoga as a separate one, and take Bhakti is needed for everything. So Sariya means that's the bodily service, mechanical service, that's the beginning stage. You do this, you go to Samiti, do the cleaning part, arranging part. Not very pleasurable, but you do it. The second part is Giriya. You do the Aarti. So you ring the bell, you do the Aarti, you sing some bhajans at the same time. So coordinating your mental and mechanical work together. Yoga, more focus, physical discipline, mental discipline, focusing inside, concentration, breathing, posture, asana, then meditation. Then the meditation comes. Meditation doesn't come easy. Krishna Bhagavad Gita, even Arjuna said to Krishna, after Krishna explained Dhyana Yoga to him, Arjuna said, it's hard for me. Then only he talked about Bhakti Yoga. So we can't go and sit and close our eyes. You can sleep, but Jnana won't come. So those disciplines will go. And Jnana is the one what they call knowing about the God, experiencing the God, in living in God. Okay? That's how what you call hearing these messages, thinking and contemplating on that. Okay. And that part, all these bring self-effort. And the last part of what you call experiencing the truth of God is easy. It's not by ourselves. So this is the way it goes. This is the what do you call the three levels of dharma even 5,000 years ago, 50,000 years ago. This is going to be even after 50,000 years or 500,000 years. Whatever the religion comes and goes, these are the three levels. Some religion mainly focus on this, some religion focus transcend that level and come to this, some religions goes up to this level. But mostly spirituality, this is the last dharma is the one reassuring our spiritual liberation and spiritual journey. Okay. So education on human values. I have an exposure when I was in Jaffna too, as a German medical student. I translated some books at that time, and it's mainly Baba's what we call focusing on establishing this dharma, because it's mainly intended for the people who can't tolerate the name of God. Many people, if you go out, if you talk about God and religion and karma and dharma, they will pack you up and send away. It's a very, what do you call it? They think it's a nuisance. Okay? Many common public kind of thing. So those people, that society and that era, this education system was established. At least to be our society, the human beings are living like animals. Let us raise them to the human level first before we elevate them to the godly. You understand? So that's the one. So it's focused on this one. So here in this valley, do we talk about God?
In values education?
No. Do we talk about karma? No. Do we talk about rebirth? No. Values. So this is the level. So the intended people is for that. As I said, the people who cannot stand and tolerate the names of religion, God, dharma, karma, and other things. So we keep them and try to elevate to this level. That's the understanding. So then you know where you are and what you are doing and other things. And as Baba said, what do you call, put God as first. For you, the aim is this dharma. You are doing it for this. But you are giving for the intended population up to this level, because they cannot stand, they cannot absorb, they cannot tolerate this one. If you know that, that's fine. And you take over, give a brief explanation, and then